Good night, good night. And again, welcome to Confessions Live with yours truly, After Hours, aka Sherri Shabazz. I'm missing my right hand man tonight. You guys, it's the last few days of tax season. We only have 7 more days to go. So Nigel is just now coming in and he won't be joining us because he still has some work to do. So let me give that plug right quick. If you guys need your taxes done from a professional, make sure you hit up Nigel at Liberty Tax. He has a franchise in Oakland Park, so if you are in Florida, you could just go ahead and drop by. If you're not, you can email, mail, fax, scan, all those other good things. If you're just now tuning in with us for the first time ever, welcome, welcome, welcome. You decided to tune in at the right time. Again, like I said before, I'm Sherri Shabazz of After Hours. If you're not following me on Instagram, I advise you to do that right now. After Hours, AFTERHOURZZX. This is where we just pretty much wind down. You know, we're not dressed up, we're not made up or anything like that. No scripts. And we just talk about what's going on, you know, like what's happening in the news, what's happening around the world. You guys know we're currently, you know, because of your president, currently at war and stuff like that. Everybody needs to be getting FUCKED. I won't say the word because I'm not quite sure of YouTube's restrictions. But I feel like if everybody was busting it up, we would not be having all of this tension going around. So anywho, moving along, I wrote this book, Pleasure Principles. Yes, it was published last year on National Sex Day, which is June 9th. That is coming up again, so guys, make sure you plan for that. Again, June 9th, 6/9, get it? Yes. And this book is just, it's a very relatable book. And it just talks about different, it's 16, I think it's about 16 short stories. We're diving deep into people's kinks, fantasies. Look at Nigel just interrupting. All the little dark things that people kind of hide, whether it's because of their profession or they're a mother or father. You know, they might be a pastor because the pastor is in the book. We all know the biggest freaks come from the church. So yeah, they're in this book. That's why I say it's very relatable. I always tell you guys, you are hiding, the people you are hiding from are doing worse than you. So make sure you grab your glass of your favorite cocktail because tonight we are definitely diving into a topic that people shy away from. So many people are lying about this topic that we're going to be discussing tonight. They lie a lot about it. They lie a lot. And the reason why I know they're lying because, of course, everyone comes and talks to me. I am literally the world's diary. Everyone confide in me. Speaking of confiding in me, we are going to talk about one confession. I'm hot. All this black. We are going to dive into a confession that led this person to an amazing good time, and I'll share that with you guys later. But for right now, we're going to start with Confession 11, Bumping Coochies. Yeah, y'all read that right. Bumping Coochie. Now, if you don't know what bumping coochies mean, first of all, coochies, you know, the vulva, doing this. It's known as scissoring. It's known as, what's another one? Tribing. What we like to call it in Florida, hunching, humping. But it's pretty much when two ladies get together and do their thing. Now, this chapter is very interesting because like most women, not most, but like quite a few women, a lot of women are curious. You know, a lot of women started out bi-curious, and then they were like, okay, this feels good, this is great. And then they went on ahead and just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. The difference between men and women is that women like the sexuality that comes from women. So I'm not saying all men, because we do know there are some great lovers. We do know that there are a lot of men out there that actually does pay attention to the woman's body, that pay attention to the woman's desires. They could read the room, and they actually want to be there, you know, and they actually want to please their partner. So we're not talking about you, but there are quite a few ladies who complain because men aren't really affectionate. You know, they lack the passion. They just trying to use their, use the woman's vagina to just come. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it is. But there is no sensuality. Again, there is no passion. And a lot of times that's what women like about other women. I did a poll a few years ago. I do not remember the numbers, and I was going to do one today, but things just got hectic. But there was a poll a few years ago that I did, and we pretty much was talking about how many women crave, the opposites, the same sex, but they haven't tried it, right? And it was more women admitted to, that they had that fantasy or whatever. And then there was another poll about how many straight women, and I say straight in air quotations because even spaghetti is straight until it gets wet, but a lot of straight women love to watch lesbian porn. Okay, let me take another sip. Nigel usually reads the room. I can't see, so I apologize if anyone is saying anything, anyone is typing. Just make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell your cousins to come over, your friends, family members, those colleagues that you're cool with, and tell them to go ahead and tune in. But for some reason, a lot of women love to indulge in lesbian porn, but they consider themselves straight. Now, I always say this. I wish Nigel was here tonight. But I always say, if your man was watching gay porn, the first thing you would say is, you're gay. But when I ask these women, do you consider yourself a homosexual? Oh, no, I'm not gay, I'm not gay, I'm not gay. Kind of like those men who give it, and they don't consider themselves gay because they're actually giving it. Well, I think this is how the women do it too. They're afraid of stereotypes, of course. They're afraid of being judged. Some of them are actually afraid of actually falling for a woman and not knowing how to, navigate that lifestyle because they've always been taught to just date openly with men. So there's a lot of factors behind the scenes. But when you ask straight women why they love lesbian porn, 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you it's the sensuality. The women cuddle, the women kiss, the women rub, they take care of you. There's like heavy panting, and it's just so intimate. Whereas men are just kind of like wham, bam, and again, not all. I don't want to fight. I always come in peace. So if you don't have this book, if you do not have this book, I'm telling you to run to Amazon, type in Pleasure Principles by Sherri Shabazz and buy it today. If you don't want to get it off of Amazon because you don't support Amazon, cool. Pleasure Principles with an S, book.com. Again, that's pleasureprinciplesbook.com. You are 100% going to find yourself in this book, okay? You're going to be reading one of these chapters and you're going to be like, well, how the hell does Sherri know my business? Because listen, if you can't relate to one or at least two, definitely one, but if you can't relate to one or at least two chapters in this book, you're not human. That's all I have to say. When curiosity kills the cat, this client wanted to feel something other than the weight of a divorce and the pressure of rebuilding her life from scratch. She didn't expect her curiosity to turn into experience, but when the moment came, she didn't hesitate. Was this just a wild vacation memory, or is this the beginning of something she's finally ready to acknowledge? She told herself she was just seeking distractions, but what if this was never about forgetting? What if this was all about discovering? That's all I'm going to read because, again, you need to go ahead and get the book, okay? And again, this book it already has built-in questions for you, thought-provoking questions, to start like a book club, to get your girlfriends involved and all of that. So in this book, this is pretty much a young lady who went on an all-girls trip with her girlfriend. She's recently divorced. She was not thinking about women. She wasn't even thinking about men. She just wanted to go and relax and have a good time. Well, fortunately for her, one of the young ladies on the vacation already dibbled and dabbled a little bit in the lady pond, She lives a heterosexual lifestyle, but again, even spaghetti. What's the saying? Even spaghetti is straight until it gets wet, right? Okay. So they have a great weekend in Tulum, Mexico. Shout out to Mexico. And they're having this wonderful good time. The next thing you know, this woman is, she's indulging in things that she never, it's not, and see, that's the thing. When it comes to a lot of women sharing, and again, I'm not saying all, you have to always make those disclaimers because y'all are sensitive nowadays. But you have a lot of women who, they don't know how to really navigate the lesbian scene. And I don't really want to call it lesbian scene because they're not actually actively dating a woman. They're just curious sexually, you know? So there's a difference. There is a difference. A lot of them don't know how to navigate, but they will tell you, I am a little curious. You know, I kissed a girl, I looked at a girl booty. I'll tell y'all straight up, like when it comes to butt, I understand men. Like, I don't know, I know I'm not the only one. How many times you've been walking down the street and you see an ass and you're like, I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. Ass just looks really good. It looks really nice. Then there are some other women who, you know, they might admire your breasts. They might admire faces, lips, all types of qualities. But they're like, I'm not really into women. I just think that's pretty. I just think that looks good. And that is okay. Nobody's saying, you know, that you are gay. No one is saying that you have to bump coochies. Nobody is saying that. But there's a lot of you who want to. And I keep saying, if you're watching lesbian porn, honey, you're just a coochie away from trying the real deal. Because again, if we caught our men watching gay porn, what is one of the first things you would say? That's all I'm saying. Make sure you guys get your favorite cocktail. I am drinking again. I took a long, and it was not because of Lent, but I realized I took a long break from drinking. I had did too much. My sister's bachelorette weekend in January, her wedding in February, and then Dominica Carnival in February, and my liver was just like, my liver and my bladder. So I took a break, and I realized, like when I had my final cocktail from that little break, I was like, wait, did I give up wine for Lent and didn't even know about it? Guys, I have not acknowledged or celebrated Lent since I was a kid. My family's Anglican, Episcopalian, and yeah, we do acknowledge, celebrate Lent or whatever, and I have not done it since a kid. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm back. Welcome back. So make sure you guys get your favorite cocktail. You do any Zaza, whatever it is that you do. Hope it's nothing too hard. You know, we do support good health over here. Not judging a little bit, but not judging. Now, I know a lot of you sexual people, y'all like to dibble and dabble in a lot of hard drugs. That's why it's so hard for me to find the perfect party that I'm trying to put together. Because, yeah, I hope this lighting does me some good. I couldn't put anything up under my eyes today. But anyway, as you grab your favorite cocktail, we are going to go over some church announcements. Yes. The summer tour, it is loading. It is loading Florida. I am coming to a city near you. Hopefully it will be Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, Tallahassee. We have not narrowed down the cities yet, but Florida, I am coming to you. And depending on how this tour does this year, because last year was pretty good. We did have some bumps and bruises along the way, but the tour was pretty good. That's why we're trying to perfect Florida. But once we get this thing down packed, then I'm back all over to the different states, and just tell me where I should come and visit. You know, we did DC last year, we did New Orleans, we did Atlanta, we did Orlando. I feel like I'm missing one. But yeah, hopefully 2027 I can hit up some more cities, because I do love traveling, and a lot of my followers, you guys are everywhere. Also, website, sherrishabazz.com. Soon you guys will be able to book me. If you did not know, I am a certified sex coach. I am a certified sex coach, among some other things. So I am qualified to coach you through this lifestyle that you're trying to navigate. So yeah, you'll be able to go to the site, and just like how we used to do, but it's better now. You know, we upgraded, we're elevating, all those good things. Speaking of elevating, we do have to take a celebratory drink tonight because I made 50,000 followers. That is a big deal for me because my page has been taken away from me like 3 or 4 times. I can't remember. Listen, at this point, I should be up to about 200,000 followers. But you know, for some reason, they keep treating me like my name is Luke Skywalker, and they keep coming for me. Right now, we can't get on Instagram Live. This is why I'm over on YouTube. I'm over on YouTube also because I heard it's just better possibilities. But we usually go live on Instagram. I am blocked. They told me I can't get back on until February 2027. I just got a notice I could click back on May 4th, 2026. So we shall see. But yeah, I hit 50,000 followers, so big up, yeah, you know. I'm excited to see what's in store, and I hope we can reach 100, like, quicker than we got to 50. Also, my website, SherriShabazz.com, you can find libido enhancer. It's all natural. It's dates, macaroon, honey, and sea moss, and I handcrafted myself. I'm also a certified naturopath. Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew about that. And herbalist. Kind of got that gift from my grandmother. I'm trying to make sure I can kind of juggle both really hard right now, but yeah. The street pharmacist with an F. F-A-R-M-I-C pharmacist. Wait, I feel like I'm spelling that wrong. Don't let me. The street pharmacist. Okay, how do you spell pharmacist? But with an F. I'm too ashamed that I even did that, but I'm gonna blame that on the wine. On Instagram, then After Hours with a Z, 2 Z's and an X. Sorry, I said with a Z. 2 Z's and an X on Instagram. Follow both pages. Listen, I keep you healthy and horny. That's just what I was born to do. I am walking in my path. Shout out to me. I hope it blesses you. Okay? What else? I have the book, Pleasure Principles. You can get it on pleasureprinciplesbook.com. Or you can go to Amazon and type in Pleasure Principles by Sherri Shabazz. You can order it there. Also, I have my own CBD. Ooh, guys. See, I haven't been drinking in a while. Look what it's doing to me. Let me sip some water. CBD infused lube. Nigel, really? I have my own CBD infused lubricant. It helps for those ladies who it's not just for anal. Y'all are nasty. It's not just for anal. Also for those ladies who have painful sex, you know, the cervix. He's not respecting the fact that, you know, you got to go in there soft and smooth and slow. Get to know the vaginal walls before you start, you know, creeping up in there. So yeah, I think I covered all the church announcements. Again, hit up Nigel if you need your taxes done last minute. If you need an extension, hit him up. It's Liberty Tax in Oakland Park, Florida. Hot topics. Listen, what's in the news now? I actually do not want to bring this up because I feel like when a person passes, you should respect them. And the young lady seems to have an amazing personality. I would like to keep her legacy alive. So I don't really want to get into the politics behind anything. I don't want to, you know, assume anything. I don't want to speak negative about it. But we did lose a vice mayor down here in Coral Springs, Florida. And I just want to say, you know, rest in peace. It was a few people that I know that know her personally. I've never met her. I've only heard good things about her. And she was part of, you know, the family. She is a Rattler. So when I heard that, I was just like, I do want to say that I was in a predicament with a friend who was in you know, that's why I said I don't want to, this is another subject now. Like, I don't want to make any assumptions or anything like that. But I did have a friend who was in an abusive relationship, and I personally have never experienced anything like that before. If I had friends going through it, I did not know, so this was the first for me. And I do respect the fact that, you know, she never told me. I kind of had to put pieces together. I kind of, you know, I was like, I'm a Scorpio. So I'm like, 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. My spidey senses kind of was like, what's going on? And then I, you know, eventually was like, okay. And I was having dreams that I was seeing on the news that this person, was shot and killed and blah blah blah, and I was just like, it just was not good for me. So I can only imagine what the family and friends are feeling, because that wasn't even a close friend. You know what I mean? It was someone that I had love for, but it wasn't a close friend like that, and it was hitting me. It was hitting me hard. And if I was feeling that way, I can only imagine what she was going through. So I do want to say, if you have a friend, I pray and hope that that friend can help. I hope you have the type of friend that goes, I tried to do the best that I could do. Eventually, it just got bigger than what I could handle, and I had to let that go for my own sanity, and for my own kids' sanity. But I just do pray and hope that everyone has that safe space, that they can, confide in someone to get the proper help that they can get. And that's both for men and women, because we also know that, some men experience abuse as well. That was just crazy. And then yesterday I read another article that a guy did the same thing. It was a pastor, like right after Easter. His wife is a pastor, he killed her. I don't know what happened, but y'all, like, we always, I hate the men and the women, men versus women, but I love when we have men versus women conversations to learn each other more, you know what I mean? To understand each other. Because I keep saying, y'all keep having these sex conversations and you're talking to your homegirls, but are you fucking your homegirl? Well, we are talking about bumping coochies tonight, so maybe you are fucking your homegirl. Who knows? Maybe. But I keep saying, you guys are so comfortable speaking with your girlfriends, or you're so comfortable speaking to your homeboys, your partners, whatever you guys call them. But it's like, are those the people that you're having sex with? If you're a man trying to please a woman, I think you should be listening to women. Just like if I think you're a woman that's, trying to be pleased by men, I think you need to, or trying to please a man, I think you need to be listening to men. I think we need to have these conversations where we can come together and hear each other out. I'm not perfect. Men aren't perfect. You aren't perfect. You gonna F up. Even the more you age, people think, with age comes maturity. It does, but you're still gonna fuck up. You're still gonna fuck up. Like, no one has no one has the no one has it all figured out. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I know I'm a little tipsy because my tongue is getting heavy. Whenever my tongue gets heavy, ooh, that's where it's at. Cheers. Yeah. So we always talking about, women are this, women are that. You have these high value men that get on the internet and talk about how women are this and women are that, and how, what do you bring to the table and blah, blah, blah. And women are so emotional. I keep telling you guys, humans are emotional. It's a human thing. Men are not more emotional than women. Women are not more emotional than men. We just carry our emotions differently. We express our emotions differently. We are all emotional. If you grew up with a male in your home, you would know. I don't care how much men keep telling you, no, women are more emotional. If you grew up with a male in your home, whether it was your own father, whether it was your brother, a cousin, an uncle, a nephew, whoever, you would know that men are emotional as well. And I keep saying this every time. I just want to remind you guys, there are women laying 6 feet under because of an emotional man. So we know about the vice mayor. I mean, there's a bunch of stories. There's a bunch of stories, but just this past Sunday, I think it happened either a Sunday night or a Monday. I can't remember. I don't want to give too much details because I don't have them. But their husbands did that. Men, for whatever reason, whether it was, like I said, even when a woman was to go and attack a man, for whatever reasons, you did that because your emotions were triggered and you did not know how to handle them. You did not know how to handle them. So I want us to stop saying that women are so emotional. We all are very emotional. Some of us just know how to handle our emotions better than others. And some people don't know how to handle their emotions. And that's okay, only if you're trying to get help. Now, if you just out here all willy wagging, God, my words are all fucked up tonight. But if you're just out here all willy-nilly, not getting help and damaging people, then yeah, you need to go ahead and get some clinical help ASAP. It don't even have to be clinical help. Go sit on somebody's couch and go talk to them and get some help. Because I'm tired of y'all saying emotional and you guys are unaliving women. I hate that word. That sounds so stupid, but I understand I have to say certain terms just so I don't get flagged. But this is crazy. See, back to bumping coochies. Now y'all got women running to women because they don't feel safe in y'all arms. I'm just saying, like, y'all have to learn. Every single adult needs to learn how to get their emotions together. Okay? All right. Back to hot topics. Listen, this is the funniest thing I've seen on the internet. I enjoyed it. I apologize for anybody who don't like it. I apologize if I'm speaking on something I don't know. But Trick Daddy this weekend at the AKA conference, that was fucking hilarious. And I don't know the logistics. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. But I just feel like even if Trick Daddy, because I saw a post with Uncle Luke, y'all know I love me some Uncle Luke. I saw a post with Uncle Luke and he said they didn't kick me off because I know how to rap the clean version, the radio version. I didn't even know Uncle Luke had radio versions because again, any Trick Daddy and Uncle Luke song that I know, even if you're not saying dick, pussy, hoe, bitch, the lyrics itself is still, it's still giving very explicit. I still can't rap this in front of my mother. Like, so in my mind, we're in South Florida, okay? So I have definitely gone to those stuffy events where they play some Trick Daddy. You know, it was a stuffy event, but we are Miamians, South Floridians, whatever you want to call the people down here in Dade, Broward, and in between. Like, we like us some booty shaking music. We like bass. We like that. Like, if you, I would say 65 and younger, maybe 60 and younger, you like that shit. So, they do play that at stuffy events. You're gonna hear some Trick. You're gonna hear some Trina. You know, anytime they have a concert down here and people bring out Trick and Trina, we love it. We get crazy. So I understand. I don't know where this conference was held. I want to assume it was in South Florida, but I really don't know. Again, I don't know much about this story. I just saw Trick performing. I read the headlines. I read some of the story, you know, the comments about it. I saw Trick's page. I saw Luke, and I thought it was fucking hilarious because he got up there. You know, he liked to throw dick with all that belly. And I was just like, who was responsible for this? Like, I want to hear from you. I want you to have a press conference. Don't prop up, you know, ring light, ring camera or whatever and get on live. Don't do that. We need to hear from you. We need Channel 7 to go ahead and go to your house, knock on your door, and put the mic and the camera up to your face. And I just want to know, like, what were you thinking? I saw the crowd, so you obviously know your sisters. Because I saw the crowd and they was vibing. The elders, however, it reminded me of, you know, like when we have our little family reunions or our family time or whatever, you know, we make events for the cousins. You know, the cousins. Matter of fact, I was just with my cousins celebrating my aunt's 79th birthday. And it was things that we do with the elders. And then we take it outside and we mind our business amongst the cousins. So it was just like, you know, even seeing Uncle Luke perform the clean version, I just could not imagine my 72-year-old mother, and she's a Gemini, so she's hella fun. She's fun, but I can't imagine her sitting at a conference enjoying Luke. I don't know. I could be wrong. My mother surprises me every day because, again, she's a Gemini. Who was responsible for that? Thank you for making us laugh this week. I thought that was the funniest on the internet. We needed it because, again, we're out here getting, you know, like, we're getting raped. Gas is $9.13 a gallon. Grocery is $11,000. Like, shit is getting real out here in these streets. Nothing is going down. Everything is going up. So thank you for that laugh. You know, laughter is therapeutic. We needed it. I just don't know. Didn't I tell you to go to sleep? I don't know what's going on in the comments. I can't see them now. Yeah, I hope you guys are having fun. But yeah, we thank you. We had a good laugh. Anything else that was in the news this week, Nigel? Am I missing anything? No. Mm-mm. I unfollowed the Shade Room a few years ago, so sometimes I don't see it like on. I followed a lot of them. You'll see me sneaking back on them because when you unfollow somebody, that's why I like to block people. When you unfollow somebody, just because you unfollow them, don't mean they're not going to show up on your For You page. Because on Hollywood, is it Hollywood Unlocked? Yeah, Hollywood Unlocked. Spiritual Word, I'm constantly seeing them. So I'll go and I to Tokyo Tony. That's who I want to talk about. I want to talk about Tokyo Tony. I feel like a lot of my followers may not know her, but I feel like some of you do. So we're going to mention Tokyo Tony right quick before we go back to Bumping Coochies. I want everybody to bow their heads right now and thank God that you have the kind of mother that you have, because Tokyo Tony, that is Blac Chyna's mother. If you don't know who Blac Chyna is, she is the mother of Rob Kardashian. I'm sure you guys remember that drama. She's the mother of Rob Kardashian, daughter. And her mom, I don't want to make any allegations. Allegedly, she got to be on something. She has to be on something, because ma'am gets on live and cuss her daughter straight, clean the F out. And I always say it's a lot of women who are jealous of their daughters. I don't know if it's because, they look at their daughters and they see what their youth used to look like, who they used to be, or maybe their daughters are thriving and they see what the potential that they once had and no longer have. I don't know what it is with mothers and daughters, but that relationship there, I want somebody to tap Tokyo on her shoulder and be like, come on, boo, let's go to rehab for 3 years. Because that's crazy. That's really crazy. All right, Bumping Coochies. Let's go back to Bumping Coochies. I wish Nigel was here with me tonight, because I feel like I have been talking forever. And I feel like I have been talking to myself. But in this chapter, the thing is, women have game. So again, even sometimes I have been hit on by a woman I know I was not attracted to. And I'm the type, I tell you, she fine. Like, Ty from Basketball Wives, the WNBA player, she dated a few of the reality stars. Mimi Frost. I apologize. I don't mean to mess up your name like that. But Ty has me questioning myself. Sorry, husband. Ty is a very, very, very handsome, beautiful young lady, and it's not only that. Like, I saw her on the show, and then I'm also following her, and I'm like, I see. Okay, she is gorgeous, she's beautiful, but it's her charm. How are you doing this? I don't even know you, woman. I've never met you, and I'm mesmerized, and I'm like, oh my God, should I be feeling like this? Is it cheating? What's going on? Like, what's going on with me? Am I lesbian now? Part-time? Like, what's happening here? Women have those things that men don't have, and that's why women are pulling other women. Because you have some women who are like, oh my God, I will never have fish in my face. Coochie looks ugly. I will never eat any coochie. I'll let somebody eat me, but I'm not gonna eat nobody. All kind of stuff. Well, who gonna be the woman? I want to be taken care of. And then you find out that women can run game just as well as men can. And the thing that they have that some men, again, not all, the thing that they have that some men don't have is that sensuality. They're going to pull you in with their softness. Even when they are masculine. Again, Ty. I don't know Ty's last name. I want y'all to look her up if you don't know who the hell I'm talking about. Even when they are masculine, there's a softness about women because women know how other women feel. And you would imagine that a woman having sex with a woman is even better because a woman have the same sex organs as you, so she knows how to approach it. Like if you were to tell a man, okay, I want you to suck on my clit. I like for you to suck it. Men are strong. You know what I mean? Men don't really know their strength. So they might go down there and that suction might be too strong. Whereas a woman, she already know because she know what she like. She has a clitoris. She knows how sensitive it is. It's not until you tell a man, okay, it's just as sensitive as your testicles. You know how, you don't want her to lick too hard or hold too hard or grope too hard. Like, it's very sensitive. So I want you to suck it like a pacifier, but not so rough. You know what I mean? So it's those things that women know. Women understand foreplay because us as women, we know we like to cuddle. We know we just like, and again, I'm not, for all of you who are like, oh, men too, okay, cool. Just listen to the conversation. I'm not talking to you, obviously. I'm not saying all men. But for the most part, women, it's that scent. It's that soft scent. And it's those soft touches. And it's just the being gentle. You understand that women are gentle, so you're gentle with them. Women know what women like, so they know how to talk to you. They know how to comfort you, because you guys have the same body parts. She's already aware of what she likes. So all she's going to do is just transfer that energy onto you. So even kissing. How many times have you kissed with somebody and you're kissing and he's already erect? And that's a good thing. That's a great thing. But it's not time to go in yet, sir. It's not time. Women can kiss for hours. And I'm not saying that men can't kiss for hours. But women can do foreplay forever. Women's sex. So you have women say, 2 hours is so long. Oh, if he's still fucking me for 2 hours, then my pussy must be whack. And then you have men out there confirming, yes, if I am still erect and in your vagina, your pussy is whack. No. I keep telling y'all, good sex is gonna last. It's gonna last. And I'm not saying that 2-minute sex ain't good either, because sometimes those quickies be hitting, they hit the right spot. But listen, sometimes sex needs to go on for hours because it's just that good. And women understand that. Women understand that sex is more than just penetration. So there's foreplay, there's kissing, there's groping, there's touching. We're taking turns, you know what I mean? Switch. You can do everything now, and now I can do everything. Whereas usually when you're with the male, men are more dominant. So they're taking the lead, and I don't really know how lesbian sex go all the time. So y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, because I do understand that there's sometimes a masculine and feminine dynamic. It's not just, always soft and feminine. But for the most part, even the masculine ones know how to be very soft and sensual with you because they too naturally are very feminine. So yeah, it's one of those things. They understand you because they have the same genetic makeup. Well, you know what I meant when I said the same genetic makeup. Like, you guys have the same sex organs, okay? You don't have the same DNA, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at here. So they understand you more. However, sometimes it just needs to be sex, because what's that saying? Opposites attract. You need the yin and the yang. That's why men and women, like, we go like this. Like, think about a plug. It needs to plug into the socket. If it's just women and women, we just have 2 sockets and nothing is working. So sometimes the relationship portion, for a lot of the bi-curious women, for a lot of the women who are just sexually attracted to women who don't really want to date them, it's harder for them because, yes, that energy, that connection is just not connecting because, again, they're the same. Your body is craving something else. Your body is craving masculine energy. Your body is craving masculine dominance. Your body is craving, that male touch, that male energy, that male dynamic. Like, you just prefer to be with them. So when it comes to relationship, it doesn't always work for women. Sometimes, we'll be like, oh, I'm giving up on men, I'm gonna go try women. And then you running back real quick because you realize lesbians fall in love really quick. Really quick. And just like girls, like your girlfriends are just hanging out with women, being around women, catty women at work. Women are catty. Women are emotional. Women are bratty. Women are all the things that we complain that men are. Women are whorish. All the things that we complain about men, women too. And now she can really beat your ass too because y'all in the same weight class. Y'all are women. So, buckle up. A man might leave because you know what? I understand my power. I don't want these problems. And women, she gonna go ahead and, what's the word they saying? She gonna square up. Y'all the same people. So sometimes it be the sex is good, but you need to realize you probably should not be having a relationship. You really shouldn't. So how do women find out that they're even bi-curious? I tell people all the time, sometimes it's childhood trauma. People are, daydreaming about sucking on some titties. People go to a strip club and they're like, oh my God, I want to try her. Or people are watching Basketball Wives, and they're just falling in love with this damn basketball star now. And you're like, well, what is going on? Well, sometimes you throw that childhood trauma way to the back of your head and you forget that, okay, an aunt, a cousin, a sister, whoever, somebody molested you. And we all know with molestation, it's not just gray, it's not just black and white. Sometimes there's a lot of gray area. You don't want this happening to you, but then you also enjoy it. And then you find yourself seeking that when you're older and you don't know why. That's why I always say, I am your gateway to clinical therapy, okay? Because I also understand, being a Scorpio, I like to go deep. I don't like surface level things. I want to know the whys. So I help you unpack all of that. You might come to me and you say, Sherri, I'm a little curious and I don't know why I'm curious. I just think women are beautiful. And then next thing you know, 20 minutes later, you forgot that your cousin Tay molested you. You forgot all about that. She woke something up in you, and now you realize, hey. And sometimes it's not trauma. Sometimes it's just plain old curiosity. I tell people all the time, none of us are absolute anything. None of us are 100% straight. None of us are 100% gay. A night out with tequila can make you a whole goddamn lesbian and you had no clue that it was even in you. Sometimes you are just curious. Sometimes you're in that space. I tell people all the time, I feel like people who have gone to college, people are heavy into the church, and people who join the military, they experience a lot. And they do a lot of experimenting, a lot of experimenting. So sometimes, you're just curious, and you just want to, and then sometimes you have a partner who might be a little bit more advanced than you when it comes to the freaky stuff. And sometimes you just want to, I just want to keep up with my partner. So sometimes people are out here eating coochie and bumping coochie and don't even really want to. They're doing it for a spouse, and then they do it for the spouse and realize, oh my God, I actually like that. Or no, this is not for me, but how do I keep my man now? So that's something else I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about this, but I didn't know that Nigel was not going to be available tonight because I wanted to get his opinion. I wanted to know, we're talking about bumping coochies, and everybody loves to see two women together. Men just get, their erections are even stiffer when they find out, oh, I'm getting ready to have a threesome. Or they seeing two women on the screen kissing or whatever. But when it comes to a relationship, if your woman is out here, looking at other women, is that considered cheating? I want to know, is that a deal breaker? Some men are like, nah, because she just bring the woman home to me. Not every woman that she meets is going to want to come home to you. Not every woman that likes women like threesomes. And when I say threesomes, I mean with the penis involved. Not all women like that. So I wanted to know that. I'm going to pose that question here. You guys can let me know. I wanted to know, if you are in a relationship, is it considered cheating because it's a woman and you know that your woman really don't have feelings for women? She's not going to fall in love with a woman. She's not going to marry a woman. Sexually, she loves being with women. Oh, let me tell y'all another cheat code. So it's a lot of women who have never experienced an orgasm. Yes, I know. In 2026, there are still some women who have never experienced an orgasm because they're not coming to Sherri and Dr. Katina's orgasmic masterclasses. They're not coming to any of Sherri's live shows, so they still have not experienced an orgasm. And I tell them a lot of times, again, I am from sunny South Florida, where we say the word hunching. You can have an orgasm if you just hunch. That friction, that clitoral friction will cause an orgasm. And that is why, because a lot of women can't understand how are women even having orgasms when there is nothing going inside of her. Well, if we're being honest, you can look up the data. I'm not lying. You can look it up for yourself. A lot of women do not experience vaginal orgasms. Like, vaginal orgasms are like non-existent when it comes to clitoral orgasms. You know, clitoral orgasms are leading the pack by far. A lot of women are faking vaginal orgasms. Yes, they are. But even when I'm coaching my males on how to properly position themselves, you always want to have some type of friction going on the clitoris. You always want to stimulate the clitoris. Whether you're inside or you're just rubbing your clitoris, your penis on the outside or whatever. But even when you're inside of her, you want to make sure that your pelvis is tilted enough so that you're rubbing on her clitoris is the easiest way to have an orgasm. And that's why women find themselves going back. You know, you have this one experience. This is like Zendaya in this book. She found herself, spending the whole weekend with this woman because she was having these mind-blowing orgasms that she has never had with a male. Because again, women understand the female anatomy. They understand to get her going, this 2-finger combo and the mouthpiece, as you're sucking on it like a pacifier, is gonna get her going because they have the same organ, so she knows what to do with it. So yeah, this is a good chapter. And I wanna talk about this confession before we go. One of my followers, I call you guys cousins, one of my cousins purchased the book, and she was like, oh my gosh, it was so funny because I've always wanted to try Girl on Girl, but I was just so scared. And then I read your book and it gave me the courage. That's why I love this book. I love the book because, listen, it's very entertaining, but it also helped you realize, baby, you just normal. You are normal. There is nothing under the sun that people have not already done. You ain't creating no new kink. You're not creating a new fetish. Yes, you are nasty. Yes. I'm sorry, you are disgusting. But hey, did you not have a good time? You had a good time, and that's all that matters. So, yeah. She said that this book actually gave her the courage, y'all. Did y'all hear me? This book is out here encouraging people. It's giving them courage, like the Lion King. What? Anywho, she got the courage to tell her best friend, y'all. Guess what happened when she told her best friend? Guess what happened when she told her best friend? Her best friend was like, girl, I wanted to try you all these years too. So guess what Pleasure Principles did? Pleasure Principles made it happen. And they were bumping coochies. And she came back and she reported to me. And I just love it. I love it. Even if your kink is not my kink, I always want to hear about your kinks. Because y'all are just happier people when y'all out here fucking and having orgasms. I'm sorry. It's just scientifically proven. Go to work tomorrow. You can always tell who's getting fucked and who's not. Okay? So yeah, I felt like a God. Not God, but I felt like a God. Like, hello, crown me. Sit me at my throne. Like, I just made this fantasy happen. Not only did I make this fantasy happen, but it was good for them. Now, if any problems happen, down the line, I warned her. Y'all are also women. Y'all have periods. Your attitude changes depending on the moon cycle. So just take all of that into consideration. You always have to take that into consideration. So one thing that I want you guys to remember too, because a lot of you, When I posted this last week, and we couldn't get on last week, but when I posted this last week, a lot of y'all was like, oh, I'm tuning in, because you know, I'm curious, I've been curious, whatever. I want you to go home and remember this. Take this with you. Sexuality is not black and white, and desire isn't always predictable. Hear that one more time. Sexuality isn't black and white, and desire isn't always predictable. Divorce didn't just free Zendaya from a relationship, it freed her from expectations. See, a lot of people have expectations. From the boxes she placed herself in, a lot of people control themselves to the point where they just refuse to try new things. They just refuse to get out of their own head. And from the fear of exploring what she never allowed herself to question before. Fantasy and identity aren't always the same thing. Just because you're fantasizing about bumping coochie does not mean you need to label yourself as a lesbian. You do not now have to identify with the LGBTQIA community. They're not asking for your help because they know you just enjoying the ride. They know you're not here for the long run. They didn't ask you all of that. You don't have to identify as a lesbian. All right? Fantasy and identity aren't always the same thing. Did she fulfill a curiosity, or did she uncover a new part of herself? Was this just a moment of exploration, or does she need to sit with what this experience is trying to tell her? Because pleasure can be a distraction. We know that. Your favorite toxic boo is a distraction. We know that. But it can also be a mirror. It could be a mirror of who you really are, boo. Who you running from? What kind of lifestyle is really in there that you hiding from? Let's put that mirror up and let's face it, And the real work begins when she stops running from her reflection. Was this just a fantasy that came to life, or has Zendaya tapped into something deeper about her desires? Is she exploring, or is she discovering the truth that was always there? A lot of times y'all always been lesbian, y'all always been gay, y'all always been coochie bumpers. You just didn't know it because you weren't thinking about it. You didn't have after hours in your ear telling you, you's gay, you like coochie. All right, y'all. My time here is up. I enjoyed you guys. Make sure you get the book, pleasureprinciplesbook.com, or you can go on Amazon, type in Pleasure Principles by Sherri Shabazz, and get the book. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. Please share the link. We're trying to grow over here. Instagram kicked us out. They're going to actually be rude again. Instagram kicked us out, so we are over here until they're allowing us back in. So please tell a friend to tell a friend. We are now here on Wednesdays. Share the link. Share it with some prudes that you know. It's always the prudes who think they don't need any help or any advice, and you're the main motherfucker that need it, okay? Make sure you go to SherriShabazz.com. That's SHERI. I can't even spell my own name. Look at the line. That's SHERRI, Shabazz.com. And make sure you just shop around, get some products, get some merch. And then also follow me on Instagram at After Hours AFTERHOURZZX. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.